Now what I would do, and I'm not going to tonight, is the next thing I would do would be to drill it. So what I do is use Forstner bit, put this in, and I think you see there could be a problem. You know what the problem is? Yes. I can only drill that far unless my bit is bigger than the quill of the lathe. And it is. That's part of the design, is to make sure that it is bigger. That way I can go in as far as I want to go, or at least this far. If I wanted to go too far, I wouldn't. But anyway, so you do that. You just kind of work it in and drill it. But drilling is boring, so I don't want to bore you.
So what size?
What's that?
What size?
1.5 inches is what I use. But if you have a different size quill, you might want to modify that. But when you do, it looks something like this. And the next step is to paint it, and I'm not going to paint it here because we don't want to watch the paint dry. So I'm going to start with this one then. So after you get it painted and drilled, here's what you have. Okay, so what's...
You don't go all the way through? You go to how far?
Yes, what you want to do is measure how, you want to stop like somewhere in here because you have to sharpen the pencil and you don't want to go through, the hole then. So leave yourself, I don't know, a couple inches maybe. Depends how sharp you want it. So there we have maybe 2.25 inches, 2.5 inches, something like that. You gain a little bit too because, I can't take that one off, because the hole is in a ways and you're coming at an angle, so you can go all the way to where the hole starts and you're fine because you still have that angle that brings you out a little bit further. Okay, so let's take this one off and put that one on that's already painted. Okay. Now what I have to do is, okay, if you're making a pencil and you stop here, it's pointless. I've been thinking about all day how I was going to say that. What's that?
Can we use these jokes, or are they
They're copyrighted, yeah. But with the right money, I think I could. What was that?
Are you going to leave your mark on this?
Yes, I'm going to put the copyright mark on it. Okay, so what am I doing? I want to put the tailstock back in. Oh, there it is. Okay. What's that?
What is the paint?
Oh, paint, yes. I'll show you. Beth Ireland uses milk paint. And you can look at what hers look like in these pictures. I think they look good. I used just spray paint. I went to Home Depot and I found this one. You want to just, how do you want to do it? Do you want to do it like this? Can you see it? Yeah, it's called Golden Sunset. And if you go to Home Depot, there's a whole section of Rust-Oleum spray paint. And this one was there and it looked the right color to me, so I bought it. But the spray paints tend to be pretty thin and they tend to run if you're not careful. So I had trouble, especially on the erasers with that. I think the next time I might just use acrylic paint or something. I'm not sure what I'll use, but whatever paint you think is appropriate. And I'm also point these out too while I'm thinking about it. This is what you can use for the ferrule, and it's Rust-Oleum metallic. And for the eraser, you could use this one, and it's candy pink. So that's what I used. Okay, so what I'm going to do is sharpen the pencil. So I'm going to set this at a little bit of an angle. Down a little bit, about there. And I'm just going to use a spindle gouge. I'm just going to cut in at about that angle. And I didn't measure this ahead of time, so I think I know about where it is, but I think it's going to be a problem. But you should make sure you know where your thing stops. Okay, so just... Okay, so now I'm not going to go all the way down because I don't want to hit the live center. So I'll take a little bit of this off. Okay. I have to be careful here because you're a long ways from the chuck. So it's easy, if you're not careful, to pull it away from the chuck. And I've got to pull this out here now. So watch out, John. So I'm just going to just chip away at it slowly. Now, I like to make it sharp because I like sharp pencils. I noticed in Beth Ireland's, she kind of made it dull, so I think what she would do is stop here and then maybe just sand the end off, or something like that. There we go. And I've got pulled a little bit of fiber out, but that's okay. Now, like I say, you have to be careful that this doesn't come off. I did have one come off. It came off, it hit the bed, and so it dented this up. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to throw it away. And I got to thinking, well, no, wait a minute. People chew pencils. So, what I did is I took a piece of metal. This is actually what's it called? The bent hexagon wrenches. What? Allen wrench. It's actually an Allen wrench. I cut it off and made a little square. Just ground down a square, and I just took a hammer and just kind of made it look like teeth. So I thought it was a way to save it, maybe. I can't decide whether I should still throw it away or keep it. So I may go ahead and finish this out eventually. Okay, and that reminds me, I used to have this pencil that Shakespeare owned, and he chewed it a lot. In fact, he chewed it an awful lot. In fact, he chewed it so much that I couldn't tell if it was a 2B or not 2B. Okay, so next thing is we have to put the lead in the pencil. Internet's a wonderful thing.
That's out of the magazine.
Is that in there?
That Jones magazine.
Oh, was it? Okay, well, I stole that one from the magazine. Actually, I found it on the internet, but I forgot it was in the magazine. Okay, so I'm going to use a Tombro black pen, paint pen, to put the lead in. So all I'm going to do is just do that. And now this paint has a tendency to come off. So what I like to do is put a little bit of, and let me get the tip. I didn't quite get the tip. There. So I use just a little bit of carnauba wax. And if you just kind of go over it, and can you see that there's some black on it? I don't know if you can see that or not, but I just use my fingernail and chip it off. Over again. And I think I forgot, they provide paper towels here. I didn't bring mine. So I'm just going to go over with the paper towel, get a little black off, and that's it. Okay, so this is the pencil park. I don't finish this because when you sharpen a pencil, you don't finish it. At least I don't when I sharpen a pencil. But what you can do is spray it with lacquer or something if you want to, just to put a little bit of a shine on it. This is also the time I usually print on it. So here I printed number 2. So the way I do that is, again, I use something I made on the 3D printer. I don't know that I really do that but tonight, but basically I have this little template. So I put it on there, I tape it on, and then I just use Sharpies. So I'll use a fine Sharpie. I tape it on. You want me to do it? Do you want me to do it or not? I don't know. Okay. All right, so I need to tape it in place. And I have to do this because my writing is so bad, it just wouldn't look good at all. So if I have a template like this,
Is that in the kit too?
it is.
Why didn't you print the middle of the O?
I did print a middle of the O, but it didn't want to stay. This marker's not marking very well. Let me try another one. I brought two along just in case. Well, maybe, yeah, here it is. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's just kind of streaky there. Oh, this is, well, use my tongue.
No, your tongue.
I was going to say, I don't think I want to do that.
No, the one you used for the tip of the lab.
I could use the Tombro. I haven't had good luck with that, though, because it doesn't stick very well to this paint. If it were a different paint, it would probably be good, but a Sharpie permanent marker seems to work pretty well. This one I'm having trouble with. It's not looking great. I just bought these. They should be good. I bought them at Walmart. Let me try this finer one. But I like to go around the edge with the finer one because then I can get up close to the edge. And I don't worry about the center of the O. I just kind of go around it. Well, that's enough to get you the idea.
Try this.
Which one's, what is that?
It's Addenda. Addenda.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, that's much better. Okay, well, that's good enough. Thank you.
You can keep that.
Forever?
Yeah.
Thank
That
you.
way you'll know what kind.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that's it. Didn't do a perfect job, but it looks okay, I think. All right, so the next step then, and I'll pass this around. I'm going to need it. Well, I won't need it again. I'll pass this around. Remember, this will come off if you touch it, so don't touch the number 2 stuff. Okay, so the next step is to make the ferrule, the metal piece, you know, that's around the pencil. This piece. So if you look at this, it's got a couple of features. It has these grooves going around it like that, and also has grooves going this direction all the way around. So we have to make those. Now, the way I did it for this one is a 3D printer. So again, here's another reason to get a 3D printer, because you can print those out. And the thing that I like about it is, if you look at a pencil, you have 3 different materials. You have wood, you have a metal, and you have kind of a rubbery kind of material. If you do a 3D print, it definitely looks like a different kind of material. It's still not metal, but it still gives you a different look. So I kind of like that. But you don't have to do that. You can do it with wood.
How long did it take you to write the program to?
I refuse to answer.
Okay.
I really don't know. It took me a while because yeah, I mean, I was learning how to use the 3D software too, so it took me a while to learn it. But you can also do it out of wood. So this is one out of wood, and that's what I'm going to do now. And that's how Beth Ireland does it. So first you start with the blank, make it round, mount on the chalk, make it round. So I've already made it round. And I'll go ahead and do this.
How long did it take to make that on the printer?
Oh, you mean once I just start the printer going? This takes about 4.5 hours because it puts down layers of 0.2 millimeters, puts down a layer, then it puts the next layer down. It takes a long time. But that's okay. You start it before you go to bed. In the morning, it's done. Okay, so first thing I want to do is get the diameter right. Now the way that Beth Ireland does it is she uses the same blank all the way through for the pencil, all three parts, the eraser, the ferrule, and the main part of the pencil. She does that first, and then she parts it off and puts the tenons on that she needs. I don't do that because I use the plastic and there's no point. So if you did that, then you'd already have this the right diameter. And what I found was, from just trying it, is the diameter you want for the ferrule should be the same as the diameter of the hexagon. That is, you know, there's actually two diameters. There's the small one from face to face, and then there's the larger one from edge to edge. You want to go edge to edge. I first tried somewhere between, and it just looked funny. This was too small. So my advice is to make this the same diameter as, you know, same distance as from edge to edge. Okay, so what I will do in this case is since I passed it around, I don't know what the diameter is, so I'll just guess. Or I'll ask for it back or something. So the first thing I want to do is take a little of this off. I know it's too big. Okay, that's about right, I think. I think I will ask for that back just so I get the right diameter. I just need to measure it. So who has the pencil? I'm already forgetting to use my face mask. Okay. So I just want to go from edge to edge. Just going from edge to edge. So that's 60, it's about the same, it's 65. Okay, I'll take that back. So let's see where I am. I went too far. Close enough. All right, you'll get the idea. Let me smooth that out a little bit. I'm going to use the, scoot chisel, here it is. Okay, so I need to make 3 grooves at each end. So I'm going to use just a point tool. Point tool just has 3 faces, and it comes to a point. So you just sharpen it that way. I'm just going to eyeball where they are. I'll put one here. A little bit deeper. Put it over here. Okay, looks pretty good. Now I have to make the ones that go this way. So what I'm going to do, I brought a lot of pencils in case I lost them, is I'm going to put a mark here where I want to put for it to start, and here where I want it to, maybe there where I want it to stop. Maybe a little bit more than that, maybe there. Okay, so here's the next question. How do you mark this so that they're equally spaced around here? So I'll show you one way to do it. I'd get a slip of paper, and what I'm going to do is run that paper around the cylinder. So I'll just tape it here, run it around, and I'll mark where it comes to. Okay. So right there is where it comes to. Now measure that. I don't like measuring, but sometimes you kind of have to. Okay, so I measure that, and it comes out to, oh, it's just exactly, how fortunate. It's exactly 28 centimeters. So I'm just going to mark every centimeter. If it doesn't come out exactly, it's a little bit of a pain in the neck because you have to use, if it came out to where, they were 11.3 centimeters each, it would be a little bit difficult to figure out exactly where to put the marks. But since it came out even, that's simple. If it came out just a little bit more than even, if it came out to 28 plus a little bit more, I would go up close to 28, just making it every one, and then the last few I'd just fudge a little bit, and nobody would notice. If they did notice, I would say that's none of their business. Yeah, if they did notice, you can say, well, it's handmade, and that's one of the nice features about it. Oops, not there. 20, that one's not one. Or is that one? Oh, that was one. Okay. That's where it stops. So here's where it stops. I measure it wrong. It's at just a little over 19. So, okay, so I can show you what I do. So let me erase these last few. So I kind of messed up there. So this was at 19 and a half, is what it is. So the last few, this one I'll make it 18 and a little bit less than a half. This I'll make it 17, a little bit less than that. This one I'll make it 16 and maybe right there. This one a little over 15, I think that's fine. Okay, so basically what you want to do is just make them equally spaced around. Put this back on. I need another hand, I think. Move it over a little bit. With this side. And I'm just going to tear this off here. And I'll just put a mark on the wood at each mark on the paper. It's a lot easier when people aren't watching you. Okay, so I'll just go around and I'm not going to do all of these grooves. I'm just going to do a couple of them, so I don't really need to mark it all the way around, I suppose, but you get the idea here. As I mark it all the way around. There. Okay, so now I'll just mark each of these. All right, I'm not going to mark them all because it just takes time. So you see I've got the lines that are marked.